Anu Chiki Briki, fellow Incels. Today, we are responding the video made by a YouTuber named Contra Points. Before I start this video, I might alarm you that I don't know if I can say he, cause YouTube would probably close my channel. So I using what should I use for it? Is it offensive? No, right? Okay. It made a video about us. So let's say what this person has to say about us.
Imagine how a woman feels. Imagine how soft and warm her skin feels. Imagine the sweet smell of her perfume. Imagine her tenderly pressing her soft lips against yours. Imagine her letting you get on top of her and insert your inside her, softly moaning as it slides in.
Okay, this guy is pretty much doing a porno. Hear this crap. This is pretty much audiobook porno. YouTube, are you really going to censor me but let this guy around? Holy shit, I just used guy, I'm fucked now.
Imagine the walls of her tight, soft, warm wrapped around every inch of your. Imagine her breathing getting heavier with every thrust. Imagine her wrapping her arms and legs around you, holding you as close as she possibly can, and begging you to inside her as you release every ounce of your into her. Then imagine the feeling of pure satisfaction and peace that comes afterwards, and looking beside you to see a person that cares about you and has accepted you in the most intimate way possible. You will never get to experience this because your skeleton is too small or the bones in your face are not the proper shape. Have a nice day.
Hello, boys. Let's talk about bone structure.
Yeah.
There's something basically Soviet about the way the internet names things. Stalin had portmanteaus like Agitprop, Politburo, and Kompromat, and we have webinar, podcast, and incel, short for involuntary celibate. The word incel was invented in the late 90s by a lonely bisexual called Alana, who created a website called Alana's Involuntary Celibacy Project.
Let's be honest here. Is it really necessary to explain all this stuff? I think it's common knowledge at this point, but maybe her viewers are a bunch of normies. Is her the right pronoun? Fucking Westerners under 77 genders. Well, at least she was talking about Stalin, so the video must not be that bad. I miss him.
It was essentially a safe space for people who just couldn't get it in. But in our own miserable moment of internet history, the word incel refers to a more specific community of mostly heterosexual men, centered around forums like incel.me and r/braincells. This group has recently gotten...
Oh, she told about Todd Me. That place is fucking toxic. Holy shit. I'm anybody that know my Twitter feed know I'm really radical. But I think .co is a cesspool. God, that website is toxic. Make 4chan look like Reddit and make Reddit look like Tumblr. Holy shit, that place is toxic.
A lot of bad press, because for the last few...
Before you call me a soy cook, let's just say... Well, if I say my political opinions here are definitely being taken down, so let's just keep watching the video.
Years, they've been churning out mass murderers faster than Marvel can make Avengers.
Wait. Elliot Roger wasn't technically, didn't identify as an incel. He technically fitted the category, and a lot of people do memes and jokes about him, but he wasn't a real incel. He didn't even try to get pussy. The guy just thought that women didn't flock to him. What was really weird. I mean, you can't call yourself an incel if you at least don't have like 10 rejections. Well, maybe 5 is enough, but if wasn't rejected multiple times, you're not an incel. And he wasn't. He would probably be, but I wouldn't call him an incel, to be honest. And Alec Midassian, that guy is mentally insane. Look, the guy, he talks about Lord Savior Elliot Roger, and he was serious about it. He was disconnected from reality, okay? That guy is mentally insane. Well, let's keep watching this crap. This video is going to be long, because this person really loves to pad their videos. God, this video is like a half an hour. So they're going to be here for a while.
Movies. But most incels aren't violent killers. They're just men who've formed an identity around not getting laid. In this video, I don't want to mock incels or lecture them or even sympathize with them. I just want to understand who they are and why they're like this. To start with, sometimes the best way to understand.
If you want to get who we are, go to our forums and read our shit. When you read enough, you'll learn that most stuff's just jokes. The stuff that aren't jokes is how we really feel about. Like, we can't get girlfriends. Aside from that, we are normal people, we just can't get girlfriends. You know? Like, all this terror attack mass shooting is just like a couple guys that went postal. For God's sake. Let's say there's a certain group of people that make like hundreds of terror attacks every year and nobody talk about them. Hypocrisy much.
A person's world is to learn. It refers to the incel belief that the human vulva become mutilated through repeated penetration by different men, though not through repeated penetration by the same man, interestingly, and thereby come to resemble roast beef. Now, by definition, incels haven't actually observed any vaginas, but to incels, anatomy is more a matter of metaphysical speculation than crude science. Though if you ask me, the right metaphor for a veteran vag is not roast beef, but sour grapes. Of course, not all femoids are created equal. There are various subspecies.
The Becky or normie femoid is to be contrasted with the Stacy, or sexually desirable femoid, whose distinguishing features include...
You got everything wrong. We don't want Stacy's. No. We want the Becky. Because Becky is our looks matches. They're ugly like us. But Becky's don't want us. That's the point. You get it? Great.
Makeup on point. Never works a day in her life. Naturally curvy body gives men
Man, we hate them. We hate the Stacys. They represent everything we hate about women. Don't you get it? They're Barbie dolls in real life. Anything else? They're a result of capitalism. Created by the evil Americans. If you know anything about Americans, you know they're evil.
Erections, big tits and ass show fertility.
Leave my buns alone, you savages! The Stacy, naturally, has a male counterpart, whom incels call the Chad.
A Chad is a hunky alpha whose hands are always prepared to grab nearby fertile pussy. He has never heard a song in his entire life. He has a sloped forehead with a strong brow, rambow chin, strong jawline, flat occipital plate.
It must needs be remarked that the skull of the Chad exhibiteth a brow ridge most pronounced, whereas the skull of the Virgin is most inadequate in this regard, predisposing such specimens to an abject existence of lamentation and cuckoldry. It's time to talk about bone structure. According to a classic
Are you kidding me? Are you really telling me? No, let's watch it first. Must be funny.
meme.
The difference between Chad and non-Chad is literally a few millimeters of bone.
I would like to propose a sociological theory, Farmingtons Law. Once bigotry or self-loathing permeate a given community, it is only a matter of time before deep metaphysical significance is assigned to the shape of human skulls. Why
There's a law for that? Does that happen that often? I think the only group of people that did it was like, maybe the KKK went against the Nazis and, well, any racist group really. But, are you really telling me those two schools are the same? We are just pointing to the aspects of a male school that women find attractive. You know, it's not that hard. Like, they like big jaws. Well, not exactly big jaws, but they like a sharp angle on the mandible, because it gives their face that diamond shape they love. You know, it's not really that hard to get what a woman like in a school. They definitely don't like a recess chin, you know?
skulls, you ask? Well, the best explanation I can come up with is that a skull is inanimate and unchangeable. It's therefore the perfect symbol of the
A skull holds your brain. That's what a skull are. It's a bone made to hold your brain place. It's probably the most important bone of the entire human body. I'm reducing the importance of the human skull. Are you serious? You can't really do anything to change it, like it or not. Well, nothing aside from surgery, but I would not make any further comments here.
The intrinsic and permanent characteristics that bigots like to assign to certain groups of people. If you believe, for example, that a certain race or gender is intellectually inferior, you can justify your belief by pointing to the shape of a skull and saying,
okay, we are talking about what make a school attractive and what make a school ugly. Now we are talking about intelligence. You may proceed.
well, that's the reason why. It's just nature. There's nothing that can be done about it. And that is exactly the way incels think about love and...
No, that's the truth. You can't change your school, man. Are the serious telling me that a smaller brain don't make you dumber? I don't want to say anything here, but it's really probable that bigger brain make you smarter. Otherwise, humans wouldn't have 3 to 4 pounds of brain. Wouldn't have like a brain the size of a potato chip. A lot of the time, animals with bigger brains are smarter, like whales and elephants and dolphins. They'll have big brains and they are smart. I mean, not smarter than a human, so size is not everything. But you can see a trend of bigger the brain, smarter the animal. Not 100. There are probably people with big brains that are fucking retarded, and people with small brains that are fucking genius. But I talk about trends here, not exceptions.
celibacy. Mankind is divided into two groups of people, the Chads with the fuckable skulls, and the Incels whose bones come up a few millimeters short. So big. I wonder what Roosh is up to lately.
I bake my own bread. Yes, I am outing myself as a baker, as someone who likes to cook. I'm not a woman. I am ultra masculine, as you can see, but baking and cooking in general.
I like call ultra masculine, but